Hi, yeah, it's Xavier and welcome to the Bonsai Retreat. Today we're going to quickly have a little look at my ficus, in particular have a swirl around of my MAME Ficus, which have all come from cuttings over the last 6-7 years from the main parent plant, and they're all looking really good, lots of growth. As I did with one of my earlier videos, I'll probably just be going around and cutting back to twos, reducing the height as we go into this this winter period. The other thing is they're absolutely covered in honeydew. Despite spraying them a couple of weeks ago, I'm not going to do major styling, just going to take the tips off. Thought I'd give you a spin round, but while I'm doing that, I thought I'd give you an update on what my upload plans are going to be for January, February. If that's going to appeal to you, then hang around. I promise it won't be long, because we're all preparing for Christmas. That wasn't funny.
That's not funny.
So this ficus you've seen many times, and it's featured in what I would call a famous, well maybe infamous short in which I removed this branch here, and I did say it was going to eventually grow back and I think become something special. And again, one of the debates that I'll be looking at probably next year is whether to change the front and perhaps have the front somewhere around there, upping the potting angle, doing something along those lines. I don't know if you can see the honeydew here. It's always hard, but some people ask me what it looks like, and it's a sticky resin, and it's actually excreted by the aphid.
That is disgusting.
I don't know whether it's part of their digestion or something, but yeah, not very nice. We don't like that. Yeah, again, we've got 1, 2, and there's a really sticky bit in there. So the bug is probably in there somewhere, I'd imagine. So let's get rid of this whole length there. Now, I'm sure many of you who've, I mean, it's been an incredible journey. I mean, this year, I've had an extra 2,000 people join the Bonsai Retreat community, and I'm over the moon, absolutely ecstatic. So thank you all for that. But I have been maintaining 3 videos a week, which, while I can, is fantastic, but I am considering whether I drop that down. So you may see a change in my video timings, stuff like that. I'm trying to decide to do this clump here. It's very, very chaotic and messy, so I may actually reduce it quite substantially. I've got a great big clump there. And what I love about ficus, and you know it by now if you've watched enough stuff from me or anyone who does indoor, is they really do bud back really quickly. So, you know, even if you make decisions that you later think, well, maybe not, you know you're going to get more growth. Certainly for January, I've got some sort of special little short 5-6 minute videos, which I hopefully think you'll enjoy. They will be out on a Saturday, but it'll only be one a week. I'm going to take a much needed rest from even having to think about editing. A lot of the specials that I've done recently, and you won't see it, the Desert Island Bonsai, my go-to books, YouTubers, these are all ideas that have come from yourselves. So while you're getting yourself all hunkered down for winter, if that's where you are, or you're getting ready to go to the beach, feel free to think about what you'd like to see from me in future.
Possibly something a bit more poetic?
Because I think ultimately this community that we've been building is as much about you as it is about me. And without your ideas, things will dry up quite quickly, and all you have to do is watch me hack trees to pieces. Okay, well, I've just opened it up a bit. There's one really, really big decision I have to make, and it's not a hard one, but I think you can see it, and it's over here. It's this great big growth over here. I do not want this to be coming up here. I want it to be going out this way, which means, do I take this whole great growth off? If you have a look at the back, here we've actually got a little branch here and a little shoot here. I have actually got the opportunity to remove that entire section. I could go further, but I want to leave enough growth on there that once it's sprayed and the bugs are off, it'll continue to throw out. It's got a lot more air and light that can get in there to the structure that is there right now. And that's all that was removed. Okay, this is the first of the MAME cuttings. I say it's probably at least 6 years old now. We're going for this interesting twin trunk, but what I want you to do is give a good look at this and tell me which way you would go, whether you would remove one of the trunks and concentrate, bringing it right back down, or whether you like this very sort of contrived, almost like a wishbone look. Either way, I'm going to be cutting the additional length off. So have a think about while I do that, and tell me what you would see happening to this. I am actually going to be just cutting all the way back to probably some of these here. This is going to stay MAME. I've got to be bringing the height down. It's quite a big ugly junction there. So let's get rid of it. We've got this here, it's quite a clutter, but I actually like the arrangement. I've got this sort of bend in it, I'm not sure whether I like it or not. So you tell me on that one. That's so when you make any reference, so MAME number 1. This is MAME number 2. This one I like a lot better. Give it a spin with existing growth. I'm probably going to keep it pretty similar to how it is right now. It's just whether the front changes or things like that. So what's the other thing I'm going to be doing in these quiet months? Well, as many of you know, you've probably noticed that my little alter ego Mudman doesn't make comments anymore. The main reason is because I've got this new DaVinci Resolve free editing software. I've got a new PC which enabled me to use it, and I can't make speech bubbles, so that's why I've stopped that. You've probably noticed I've actually enjoyed playing around with those sort of short little 2-3 second memes. I find it much easier to find exactly what it is that's going through my mind when I see those.
Not a lot. Not much at all.
Hopefully, let me know if you like those or not. It's quite a long expanse there without anything, so that's a little bit annoying. Could do with something a lot further back. I know I could take the risk and actually cut back to here, and sometimes you get some budding back, but it's not something I found as a general rule. Now, I could actually take that top off. And I'm also going to be spending the time updating my database records. You know, I use an Access management workflow system. I call it that because, you know, it's not just a database, it's not just a file for holding your pictures, it's actually a management system. But if anyone else is interested in using or trialing that system, send me an email and I'll set you up with it. I've had quite a number of people who have been trying it and are really happy with it. It's worked without problem for certainly 4 or 5 years now. I think the closest that I've seen is, I think it's called My Bonsai Book or something. You can get online and you have to pay monthly, and I've looked at the actual usability of that, and it looks lovely. But I tell you now, you'll get more out of what my daughter Lexi's designed, and you'll get it for free if that's what you want. Let me know what you want to do with this. If you've got any great ideas. Now, this third of the MAMEs is the one where I'm really, I think, asking for your views, because there's a very obvious option. At the moment, it's continuing to work over towards me. Just give it a spin to look at. But I can see a really enticing move that requires a big chop. And I'm sure you can see it. But certainly to make this into a much more quality MAME, I see an option to actually remove this entire branch here and have this great big thick trunk, which is as thick as my thumb now, and run the tree up this way. So I'm just going to cut back as I have with the others, just remove this excess growth. But you tell me, should I make this into a much smaller, or would you continue with what's here? I mean, there is a lot of good growth here as well. Okay, well, that's as far as I'm going to do for now. Again, I love these. These are all from cuttings, so they've cost me nothing. And there's such great indoor trees and outdoor trees later in the year to cut your teeth on and learn some different skills. Okay, well, that's the MAME done. We've just got the mother tree to look at, and there's been a number of videos showing how I've changed the potting angle, removed major branches, and as you all know, this one is now firmly clip and grow. So I am just going to be working my way through doing exactly the same thing you've seen me do already. And while I'm doing that, how about we do our final subscribers corner for 2023? I think this time I've had some lovely emails describing what's going on, so I'm just going to do a bit of voiceover while you see the pictures. The first one here is a jade from Mark, and this was actually put together from 2 lobes he planted in May 2020. And he has said make sure the 2 lowest branches, they are being grown as sacrificial. Narina has been a contributor before, and the last time you saw her stuff was when she was doing her, I think it was her first air layers, and she was doing them on her Japanese maple, which you're seeing. Well, I've heard that congratulations in order. She's given birth to a daughter and a son. Lots of leggy roots on them, and we wish them all the best. We've got Susan, who again is a regular contributor. Sent some pictures through of her unheated outdoor room, I think, where she keeps her old pool equipment. And I wish I had a pool. I wish I had the equipment for a pool. What she does is she puts all her plants up, and then she spends 4 days making ice cubes from her ice cube maker and puts them on all the trees, and then they melt on the trees. So it's a really good novel watering system. But I like that. But she's also shown me the plastic benches that she's picked up for her greenhouse frame or whatever, and also how she set her trees up for the winter. We asked in an earlier video what would you do with a problematic Chinese elm she had. Well, what she did is repotted it and put it onto a rock, which I think is the best of the options, because that's what I would have done. Finally, we've had a submission from Joe, who's actually quite local to me in the Nottingham area. As you can see, this one I think was actually dug up. Broken branches, he's used super glue to repair them and clamps. He covered all the branch structure initially with sort of a ceramic or rubber tape, which you can see in the picture, wired it, and then did a lot of bending. He had to do a lot of rot removal. As I say, he used super glue also for a hardener. But I think you can agree that the Nonacera there that you're seeing is absolutely incredible. And this one here was an Amma maple, which brings back for him really memories of the 90s and when he was at the Midlands Bonsai Club, which is where he picked this up from. This is nothing special, but it's kept changing styles depending on what he wants to do, which I think probably is a summary of how most of us find that we style our bonsai. The one you're seeing now is actually put into a lovely pot, and just goes to show what you can do with English ivy. So thank you very much, Joe, and I think we better go back to the ficus. Okay, as you see, I've been thinning out this area here. It's amazing, it all grows up. Nigel, why does everything grow up? I think it was a tree or something trying to find the light. And having thinned it all out, I've noticed there's quite a few small bud points coming through. So what I've done is by just cutting the growth back, that should encourage energy to be redistributed to these newer, lower bud points.
You sound like an expert.
I'm still a little bit uncertain where to go with this one. I'm actually getting lots of little here, got branches lower here, and I'm waiting to see if I get something lower here and lower here, because I might actually remove this big section here. And another example here is, I've brought the height down and I'm trying to get the horizontal movement, but the classic one is on this branch here, just here, a bud, which I really like the look of, which would allow me to remove this whole top section here, continue to grow it out horizontally this way. And looking at that, I'd quite like the look of that, and then just grow from this way. What I want is I've cut these back, and I just want to see how well this continues to grow. And if this shoot continues to do that development that I think it's going to do, then next year I'll take the tops off. So I'm not going super radical. It's had one really hard prune anyway this year, so I'll just continue to just be a little bit conservative.
Conservative? No.
I'm determined I'm not going to wire it, because here is the obvious one. What I'd like to do is actually wire that down, so I can create the separation that I need on these. Am I being stubborn by just sticking with clip and grow? I don't know. If I can't wire it, would you remove this upper branch here, or remove this whole branch here, because we've got nothing along here? I'd be interested to know in those of you out there who have got a good idea where they would go. Okay, well, there we are right now. I'm not going to do anything more. Give it a quick spin now, and as I say, get your minds into it. Have a look and see what you might do with some of this. I really am determined not to wire, and if that's the case, then I would imagine I want to see this branch here grow so I can remove these. And it's this one that's the problem. But you let me know. Really, it's a lot of fun doing this. Now there's obviously another issue I've got to deal with on this. Got this wound now, which is rolling and healing properly, and really I could probably nibble away at that. But I don't want to do too much. It's continuing to thrive. I'm really happy with it. So really, this is the last bit of filming I'm going to be doing for 2023. I hope you're going to join us for the Desert Island Bonsai. That was a subscriber idea, and so impractical, I know, but I love it because it is really saying what are your emotional top 3 bonsais. And I've definitely got more than 1 or 2 surprise guests. If you want to have a little look and see what Darren of Grow Bonsai thinks, or what Jason of the Bonsai Garden thinks are their best 3, you need to make sure that you're around, or at least hit notifications so you can see the Desert Island Bonsai, because it's going to be a lot of fun, and a lot of bonsai are going to be seen. Anyway, oh, one last thing. After all the disasters I've had with lemon, I think I said to you earlier in the year that I'd given up. My 2 big lemons, which had really large trunks on them, died, everything, and I'd just about had enough. This was a cutting from one of them, and it was looking so sorry, but of course it was, because it was down the bottom of the garden and it didn't like the temperatures. But now, my daughter Katrina has been lovingly watering it and caring for it, and it's thriving. So there is still 1 more lemon left in the bonsai retreat. Anyway, so from Xavier, hope you've enjoyed it. Happy bonsai and God bless. Cheers.